Cypher is a cooperative dice game for 2 to 6 players. Think of it like Hanabi with dice. The game is set during a prolonged war. Players are the greatest cryptographers in the country, brought together to try to intercept and decipher enemy communications. Each success will save thousands of lives, and could make all the difference in turning the tide in this war. Each player has a card in front of them that they are not allowed to see, and a set of 5 dice. The goal is to work together to get players' dice to match their cards. You'll notice some cards will have question mark symbols on them in place of dice. You can use any die value to match a question mark, as long as all question marks on a card are the same value. Each round, action chips are drawn from a bag. There are 3 types of common actions, 3 rare actions, and then the solve action, which is always available. The chips that are on the table are the available actions for the current player. As soon as an action is taken, return the chip that was used to the bag. The next player will have less actions available to him or her. There are a number of enemy attack cards drawn each round as well. These represent locations that the enemy will soon attack. In this case, the eastern trenches and the western front. If we are able to provide our allies with intelligence about these locations, by correctly solving cards that match these enemy attack cards, we can allow our army to win these battles. So how do players help each other get their dice to match their cards? Here, the player on the left has taken the trade action. Trade involves trading 0 to 5 of your dice to another player for an equal number of their dice. Since the left player knows what the right player needs, a trade can be very powerful if the dice match up well and players are clever. Here, the trade has allowed the right player's dice to perfectly match her card, though she probably doesn't know it yet. The clue action allows you to choose another player to give a clue to, and then tell them a clue in one of the following formats. A. Reroll a certain number of dice. B. Reroll X's, like reroll 6s. Or C. Don't reroll X's, like don't reroll 1s. Then that player, using the information that they have been given, and information they might already know, may roll any of their dice up to 3 times. Here, the right player has told the left player, don't reroll 6s, and the left player has 3 chances to roll their dice. Using the assign action means you must choose 1 die in front of any player, even yourself, and set it to any value. Those are the 3 common actions that you'll draw out of the bag. The way your team gets points and saves lives is by using the solve action, which is always available. Solving is basically declaring that you think your dice match your card. When you solve, any number of other players can join you, also declaring that they think their dice match their card. The more successful solves performed at once allow the team to score more points. Solving is the time that player cards are compared against enemy attack cards as well. Here, the left player's card provided us intelligence for the eastern trenches, allowing us to negate these 2 enemy attacks. The right player's card, though successfully solved, does not match up with the last remaining enemy attack card. For each enemy attack that remains, and for each of the player cards that was solved unsuccessfully, the war disc is moved 1 space down the war track. If it reaches the end, the team has lost the war and the game immediately ends. Any player who solved must discard their card, draw a new one from the deck, and reroll their dice. New enemy attack cards are drawn. Then action chips are drawn from the bag once again to begin the next round. Up to 3 action chips can be strategically saved from one round to the next. If a player decides to solve before all the action chips are used up, players will have more action chips available for the next round. If when drawing cards the peace card is drawn, the war immediately ends with the team victorious. They may record their final score as a combination of the points earned during the game, minus the penalty for losing battles during the war. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed Cypher.